everyone, Charlene here. Today I'm going to be sharing some quick and easy no-fail coloring using the Poinsettia pattern stamp and the coordinating color layering stencils. So we'll start out here by stamping this beautiful poinsettia background. I'm going to be doing multiple cards today because I want to show you some tips and tricks along the way for assembly line mass producing. I have my stamping platform here, and I'm putting the stamp right in the center of a piece of A2 sized white cardstock. I'll lift my stamp up with the door, then grab my intensified black ink and ink up my stamp. Once it's nice and inked up, I'll go ahead and flip and apply even pressure across my stamp. Lift this up, and since this is a new stamp, we are still conditioning it, and it will get better the more times we stamp with it. So I'll go ahead and ink this up a second time, flip and press and lift. That looks great. Now I can go ahead and remove this panel and set it aside. I'll put my next panel in right into that bottom right hand corner and repeat the stamping process. I've done 3. For my next 3, I'll be using contour ink. So I cleaned off my stamp. The contour ink is going to give me a beautiful light gray result with my stamping, so I'll be able to see where to do my stenciling, but I'm going to show you how you can come back later and restamp for heat embossing. I'll go ahead and lift, and you can see that light gray. I am going to stamp this a second time, so I'll ink up my stamp and then go ahead and flip and press and lift. That looks great. So I did that 3 times with the contour ink. Now I'm leaving my stamp in my stamping platform. I set it aside. The next step in our assembly line is to take the first of the 4 coloring layer stencils, and it will color in 1 layer of the poinsettias. I'll place one of my stamped panels down on a sticky mat, and then I can easily line up the stencil with the black outlines. I'm using a dark red ink, cranberry, and this is going to give us a beautiful shade on our finished panel. So I'll add some ink on my brush and then do a heavy hand all the way across the stencil. Once I'm finished with the cranberry, I can go ahead and remove that first stencil and then bend my sticky mat to pop the panel off of it. Then I'll bring in my next piece and repeat the process for all of my card panels. To vary your look, you can always lighten or increase the amount of ink that you're putting down, or you could use a different color. I've completed my black stamped backgrounds, and now I'll do the same thing for my contour ink stamped backgrounds. I'm taking the stencil off my last gray panel here. So now I have 3 of my gray panels done, and I have 3 of the black panels done with the first stencil. Next, I will bring in the second layer of the layering stencil and line it up again with the black outlines. For this second layer, I'm bringing in a lighter color of red, which is cherry. I'll do an all over of the cherry through the second stencil layer. I finished, so I can go ahead and remove layer number 2, and you can see that gives us a nice 2-tone poinsettia. I also decided for some of the gray panels to use peony ink through stencil layer number 2. I'll go ahead and remove the stencil, and you can see this creates a very different look. We have stencil layer number 3 and number 4 left to do. These are going to color in all of the leaves. I always like to check and see if any of the layers are adding additional detail to an existing layer. Layer number 4 does that. It adds extra coloring on the leaves. So that tells me that I need to use a lighter green on layer number 3, which has more open space. I'll go ahead and line up layer number 3 just like I did with the other stencils. For my lighter green, I'm using Fresh Lawn. I'll ink up my brush and do an all over across the entire stencil with the Fresh Lawn. Now I can remove stencil layer number 3 and take this panel off. I wanted to show you, this is kind of fun. You can still see some of the detail from the gray ink coming through the inked layers. Now I can repeat the process with stencil layer number 3 on all of my remaining panels. I finished with stencil layer number 3. Now I can move on to stencil layer number 4. I'll do the same thing and line it up with the black outlines. For this layer, I'm bringing in some Byzantine green reactive glitz ink. This is a beautiful kind of shimmery green, and it's a little bit darker than the fresh lawn. I finished with that layer, so I'll go ahead and remove the stencil, and you can see there's a subtle but distinct difference between the two greens. The Byzantine green adds a little bit of a glow to your finished panel, and it's easier to see in person. For a little bit of a different look on some of these panels, I'm bringing in Butter Bar as my final color. The yellow will play well with the green and make it look like more of a yellowish green. Now I can remove the stencil on the layer I used, the Butter Bar, and you can see how that creates a very different look. I finished with all of my stenciling, so now we have all of these different colored panels. They are all very pretty. For this next step, you want to make sure your panels are nice and dry. You could take a little break from your mass producing and let them dry overnight. To speed things up, I'm using my heat tool to dry a few of them. Once it's nice and dry, I'm sticking it right back down in the bottom right-hand corner of my stamping platform, and I'm going to cover the entire panel in some anti-static powder. Then I can ink up the stamp with some clear embossing and watermark ink. You do want to be careful here and just make sure that your stamp and your panel match. Then we'll flip and press and lift. To make sure it is really nice and stamped, I'm going to go ahead and do this a second time. I'll lift that up and then carefully remove my panel. I'm bringing in some Hero Arts gold embossing powder, and I'm going to cover the entire panel with this embossing powder. This is why it's important that you wait until your panel is completely dry, because if the ink from your stenciling is still wet, it will pick up the embossing powder. I'll tap off any excess. Then I can heat up my heat tool. Once my tool is nice and hot, I'll bring it to the paper and melt all of that beautiful gold embossing powder. It's going to give us a really fun shimmery outline around the stamped and stenciled images. Once I'm done, I always make sure to turn the panel in the light to make sure I've melted all of the embossing powder. It's really quite stunning. Another option that you have, since your stamp is still in your stamping platform, is you can use white pigment ink over your stenciled image. I've inked up my stamp. I'll flip and press and lift. I'll come in a second time to build up that white pigment ink. Now, I do take this out of my stamping platform once I've stamped it a few times in order to dry the pigment ink. This allows me to add extra layers and really make that white stand out. I usually do this 2 or 3 times. When you're done, you get this really fun result. Here are all of the finished panels. I do want to point out somewhat of a bit of a casualty that I had on this one. I did stamp with my embossing ink in the wrong direction, so there's a faint watermark of the pattern of the stamp, but it just adds some texture. I'm using the 2 sentiments that come with the stamp set. I'm lining them up on the center of a piece of white cardstock that's 4 1/4 inches wide, and I'll ink them up with some intensified black ink. So I'll go ahead and flip and press and lift, and I'm going to ink them a second time to build up the black. So I'll go ahead and press and lift. That looks good. I'll pull this out of here, and then I have 2 more strips so that I can get all of my sentiments stamped at one time. Next, I will grab my paper trimmer and trim down the sentiments by lining them up along the edge of my paper trimmer and cutting them all into strips. A great way to help a sentiment like this stand out against a card that has a largely white background is to cut a strip of colored cardstock that gives a little bit of color on each side. So I've got 2 strips of peony, 2 of cranberry, and I'm cutting out 2 out of black cardstock. So I suggest cutting a bunch of different 1/2-inch strips with lots of different options. Then add glue to your stamped sentiment and add it to the center of the colored strip. You can adhere your sentiment strip flat on the top of your card panel, or you can go through and add some foam tape to the back of them, which is what I've done here. I'm doing this assembly style to make my life easier, and my scoreboard is going to help me a lot. I just place my card panel in the bottom left-hand corner of my scoreboard, and then I decide where I want my strip to go. I've decided that I want them to be 1.5 inches up from the bottom, and then I can take a piece of tape and mark the line on my scoreboard where the sentiment needs to end on the right-hand side. Then I can take my strip and remove the release tape, and I know that when I lay this down, it's going to be perfectly aligned on that 1.5 inch horizontal, because I can lay it down and make sure it goes right above that piece of tape. So this ensures that my sentiment is nice and straight across the card panel, and then I can just easily pop in the next card panel. Once those are all done, I can add glue to the back of each of my card panels, and I can adhere them to A2 sized card bases that I've separately prepped off camera. Next, I've chosen out a variety of gems and enamel dots, and I'm going to go through here and there and add a little bit of shine and bling to my cards. Here are all of our finished cards. Some of them I added jewels to the centers, and some of them I added clear enamel dots. That will give us just a little bit of shine. On a few of them, I added these tiny little gems, so that way there's a little tiny bit of sparkle. For our pretty embossed gold, I left that one just as is. And then I also used white enamel dots, which is kind of fun on this one. I hope that you all picked up some tips and tricks today on how assembly lines can really help with mass producing cards. Please be sure to like and subscribe, as well as hit that notification bell so that you'll know about future videos here on the Hero Arts YouTube channel. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.